seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We regret that our adventure cannot continue at this time. Please follow instructions from our cast members to leave the attraction. Thank you.
May I have your attention? Please remain seated. This ride has stopped temporarily and will resume motion at any time. Please remain seated for your own safety. Thank you.
The Wicker Man is currently experiencing a delay and we have ceased our ritual. We apologize for any inconvenience, but we are still assessing the interruption. If you have just entered our territory or at the start of your journey along the queue line, we advise you to leave the woods and try other rides and attractions.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. For technical reasons, our adventure has been temporarily interrupted. We hope to be back in operation very soon. Please remain seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. We regret that our adventure cannot continue at this time. Please follow instructions.
Oh, you're off screen? Yeah, oh my goodness! Look at me hogging it.
Well, I guess you need more space. Hi, guys!
I'm supposed to start. The pretty one always starts first.
Party cycle! Party cycle!
Send it! Send it! Okay, let me mute this for a second. Oh my god. I'm burnt to a crisp.
Show them your neck. Guys, look at that. It's like a lobster. Oh my god. It's like a lot. We still have our fast lanes on.
Oh. This is our token to heaven.
Me too.
Oh my god.
More taxes.
That's why Surya started. We're defending you. Oh my goodness. Today.
We're gonna dive right into it.
Oh.
Or I think we should dive right into it.
No. Okay, I have a whole topic set up as a stream deck. Today was a nightmare.
Yeah, today was.
Well, I had a great day.
It was a really good day for us. However, you know, big shout out to anyone who works at Wonderland who has to deal with all that stuff. Especially the big rides. I don't know how you guys do it. Like,
that's so true, Jared. Other people have Rolex. We have Fastlane.
Well, one's more useful.
Ours is from the dollar store.
You can tell time on your phone now.
Oh my goodness. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm really worried for Wonderland.
You know what's more concerning?
What?
Is that, well, I guess we're diving into it, but I just thought of this while I was driving here from the park. It's only been the second official opening day, and we're already seeing issues that we didn't see until the summer of last year.
Yep.
And you know what the thing was? The park didn't start off that busy for a Saturday, did it?
No.
But like 2-3 o'clock rolled around when it got warm out, like 20 degrees. People just kept piling in.
Yeah, there were fights all over the park, guys. Like, it was like fight at Yukon, fight at Leviathan, fight at Front Gate, like, and then two of our fans, and we just saw them at the exiting the park. So the park closed at 8. We just saw them, bumped into them, talked to them at Front Gate. Had the most lovely day. Bought brand new, really awesome Yukon sweaters matching together. I think they're boyfriend and girlfriend. I could be wrong, but I don't want to assume.
Really nice people.
And really nice people have like done so much, and they went across the street and just, yeah, they're in the hospital right now. Like, it's not safe. Like, I'm not going to sit here and BS. Like, I'm not going to defend Wonderland and BS. But it's also not Wonderland's fault. Like, they can't control what happens across the street. But what does Wonderland do? Like, what does the Wonderland and City do? And, like, the businesses across the street are closing, you said.
Yeah, so after the park closed, I ran over across the street. I thought, okay, I'm going to get Starbucks. Starbucks actually had a notice on the window saying, moving forward for the summer season, on Saturdays and Sundays, Starbucks will be closing at 7 p.m. That's their new seasonal operations. And that's obviously because of Wonderland. And honestly, they have every right to close that early because, you know, you can't deal with that amount of people. And even, okay, let's just say there were like 300-400 people coming into a restaurant or a store, but the way they're conducting themselves, that's not fair for any worker. That's not fair for any business. No one should have to put up with that.
You know what pisses me off? You see that little fucking, pardon my language. You know what? No, because I'm pissed off. All these kids in these Nike gear, horrible. You can tell. If you see a kid in that, dressed like that, and this guy getting dragged away right there, they're bad. All of them. They all are jokers.
And it's hilarious. Like, you'll be on Leviathan's line, or any line. You'll be anywhere. And you can really see it if you can get above the crowd, and it's just a sea of the same haircut. Like, they all look the same.
Are you posting the video?
I'm going to post the video tonight.
You have to you go to his TikTok tonight or tomorrow morning. He filmed the funniest video.
But it's true. They all dress the same and they all act the same. I'm sure as individuals they're okay. But when they all get together in that group mentality and they start screaming and it's just a snowball. It keeps going and going and going because they don't have that self-control. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. And like, look at this guy right here. Like I don't know. How do you conduct yourselves? And maybe we can't even blame them. Maybe, you know, some responsibility falls on the education system, you know, the parents, everything. Like, it's just a whole collective. And it's almost like this generation is failing. As shitty as it sounds.
I'll explain another situation where I'm not going to go into too much details because I don't want to come across any way, and it's not a thing. It's just there was a group of 6 ladies that thought they could ride Leviathan, get off the ride, wait at the exit, and while people were putting their bags in to sit in their seats, go take their seats. And then when they got kicked off the ride for clearly doing something wrong, they tried to painted as racism, and then they got violent. Like, they were gonna beat
Kids,
anyone up.
kids.
They were gonna beat kids up for telling on them and getting them kicked off the ride. Like, that's like insane to me.
And they're
that's
shouting.
how bad it was.
They're shouting at the employees. They're shouting at everyone like they were the victims in that particular situation. And they waited at the bottom. It was only until security and higher ups came that they dispersed.
Yeah, and these were adults, by the way. These weren't 14-year-olds. And this is what I want to touch on. I don't know how old that kid getting dragged away in, but he looks over 16 to me. The people on Leviathan that caused the scene were like 20-something, right?
Yeah.
Like, so the chaperone policy isn't going to prevent this. Like, it's not.
I think the chaperone policy would help a little bit. But what would really help, and this is, and you see it in this video so good. So this is what I want to give a shout out to Wonderland. Is
it's Tatiana. Tatiana, are you still in the hospital? This is her, I think. Are you guys okay? Okay, that's good. Okay,
we're glad you're okay. I think what needs to happen, honestly, and this is not just Wonderland, this is everything, is we need to start becoming more strict with the younger adults and just anyone who acts out like this. Like, I'm talking, monetary fines. Like, obviously you can't put anyone in, like, you can't throw people in jail. That's not how it works. But you know what? If you're caught stealing, shoplifting, disturbing the peace, slap them with a $500 fine, first offense. Like, that will fix them up really quick, because the odds are, like, the parents don't know that their kids are acting like this, right? Because it's only when they get together in a public setting, that's when they start going crazy. And Wonderland was kicking a lot of people out, and Wonderland needs to keep doing that, though. Take season passes away, kick people out, don't give refunds. Like, set a message, set a precedence that this will not be tolerated at the park, and it shouldn't be tolerated anywhere.
Yeah. Like, I want to make sure, like, people are banned from this part. I want to guarantee from Wonderland, I think they need to put out a statement now that is like, the police are involved, we're pressing charges. Like, charges need to be I don't care if you're 14. And charges need to be pressed. If
you read on a park website, they have the legal right to do that. They have the legal right to press charges, to prosecute, and to charge monetary fines.
It's like, I didn't feel safe, and just seeing fans simply going across the street, like people we know and met literally right before it happened, going across the street for food or whatever to get home, and literally are in the hospital just because they went to Wonderland. Like, the fact that Wonderland's become a potential danger as like a visit. I don't feel danger in the park. Like, I didn't feel unsafe in the park at all. I will say, if you even look at this video, security is placed behind us. They're on the walls in case they need backup. There's a cop with like every security officer essentially has a cop with them. So Wonderland is doing their part, and they were pressing charges. We saw that. But I want a confirmation that these people are being banned, and charges are being pressed. Like, that's what I want. I want to know, because it's crazy.
100%. And as Brendan just mentioned, like, Wonderland is doing the best they can with the inside of the park, but when you come to the outside of the park, like, when there's 45,000 people in the park and they close, they all leave at once. Not everyone is getting in their cars and going home. A lot of them are going to go across the street and stuff, and that's where problems come from. So if you're going to the park, like, just make smart decisions. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you have a good way to get home. Make sure that you trust the people you're with, and don't participate in any of those activities. Like, don't participate in anything that you think at the back of your mind may put you in a bad situation. It's really not worth it. You know what? One wrong decision.
Holy God, guys, this is like the most viewers we've had at one time. Sorry, I just looked up and saw that there's like 179 of you, and it keeps going up. But yeah, no. It's, again, I want to say that Wonderland security, phenomenal. I want to even, there was a thin Middle Eastern, I'm just saying that to identify, just so even if security knows her on the team, so they can congratulate her. That's the only reason I'm going into details about her. A Middle Eastern security guard, do you remember? And she was dealing with a guest, and she looked like
by King's Feast,
thin, tiny, but she looked like a boss. Like, I was like, I wouldn't mess with her, and she's like, I'm like triple her size. So they're trained well. And what I really liked is there was an incident happening at Leviathan, and they show up in a group and they spread out. The security spreads out and they almost create like a border.
Yeah.
Like a safe zone, and they'll start analyzing the situation to figure what they need to do. So I will say that Wonderland's done a much better job this year. I would say a phenomenal job in training, because it's very evident that they have the right people in place on the security team at Wonderland. Like, so again, I felt safe at Wonderland. Yeah. I'm worried about what happens across the parking lot. So
yeah, the response time is a lot. Like, there has been improvement, and you can tell they've rehearsed this before, like, because they know exactly what to do.
Yeah, I think I might need to invest in Ziploc pants, zipping pants, because the theft's going on.
That's one of the reasons, guys. Like, I always wear zippers because, well, even on Leviathan, I'm like, you should maybe put your phone in my pocket.
Yeah,
it's not worth it, guys. And I know, like, don't bring loose articles on the ride. If they're secure, you can bring them on, but there's only so much at the end of the day that Wonderland can do. But they're doing it, but, you know, just make smart decisions. Like, if you see something going on in a certain area, it may be better just to come back to that area later. Like, well, and what did you say the whole day? Brendan was saying just de-escalate and walk away.
Yeah, like,
right?
So, okay, I didn't say this yet. So we're on Leviathan. Anyone who watches my videos and stuff, y'all know when we were at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, I got called the F.A. gay slur word. It happened today at Wonderland for the first time in a while. I was sitting on Leviathan minding my business, not even talking, looking at these people. We didn't have an interaction with them at all. And I turn over, and this guy's literally over the thing, pointing directly at me, and he's saying the word, and I'm like, hello? And it's just like, you know, when we get off the ride, I'm like, don't escalate, just let's go ride. Like, there's no point. Like, because then it creates this, and then you get a crowd, and then Wonderland has to deal with it. So sometimes it is better to just...
But you know what the funny thing is? Well, we weren't necessarily waiting for anybody, but while we were down there and that person came off, they put their hood up and they acted so small.
Yeah, when my friends wanted to have a conversation with them, even though I did want to just go ride again. I don't like escalation, as you saw in my other video too. They wanted to just have a word with him. They didn't even mutter a word to him, because this guy literally, he saw us waiting at the exit, put his hood up and walked by us. No words were exchanged or anything, but yeah.
So, it's really sad, you know, to see, like, and this is a relatively new issue. I would say since COVID, I think those lockdowns really messed people up.
Yeah. It's you guys know my opinions on the chaperone policy too. I was very against it, and I still am, but I think maybe banning teens that wear Nike tag.
I agree. They're problematic. They are problematic. I'll say it. They're problematic. They are problematic. They act tough. You know, they think they can do whatever they want. They think they can get away with anything, because in their whole life, they've never been given a consequence for anything. They've always been told, you're special. You can do whatever you want. You can achieve whatever you want. You're failing in school. That's okay. You can just keep going. They've never been given a difficult situation, or no one has ever said no to them. And when someone finally, you know, defies what they want, they act out because they are not used to that.
Yeah. Ban Nike Tech and perms.
Yeah, we should contact Nike and Adidas and tell them, hey, you got to do something here. Like, charge an extra $50
this is
if
on
they
you.
have a haircut.
Whatever ingredient you're using in that Nike Tech, it's poisoning the minds. It's creating animals.
they act like animals, like
Yeah.
like a very uneducated.
Yeah, kids are the source. There are like kids, but you know, a lot of the fans that we meet, or our fans that are kids, are super respectful.
And that's the difficult thing.
That
right?
is
That
the difficult thing, because we see them. We see all the people who would be affected by the chaperone policy, and they're super polite and nice. Obviously, there's bad ones. There's bad my age. There's bad 20-year-olds. There's bad 18-year-olds. There's bad 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, but the majority of the people behaving like this are 18 to 24, in my opinion. That's what I've analyzed.
I would say, yeah, like I would personally say like 13 to 24.
So, yeah.
I think Wonderland just needs to outright ban them. Like, even if they do one bad thing, like start with like a month-long ban.
I'm not saying Nike Techs don't look nice. Like, on some people, they look good. Like,
I really don't think they look nice. I will say that. I think it makes you look douchey.
I can't comment on fashion. I wear my own merch now every day.
Oh,
Like,
but
but yeah, it's crazy. But again, I do want to reiterate, and this isn't even Wonderland holding, you know, a weapon to my head, forcing me to say this. Wonderland is doing a really good job in park. Obviously, there's so little they can do outside of park. Like, what are they gonna do? Send like their security team over to like the Starbucks Plaza to monitor off property? Like, but in park again, they have a system. It's very evident. It works. We're arresting people. We saw them. They had a lineup of like cop cars almost like processing people.
the only thing though I am concerned about after seeing what happened like in the Starbucks Plaza, what was going on there, is if that continues.
So what is also concerning is Starbucks closing early. Who's liable for that loss of business?
That's what, like, what if all those businesses band together and say, hey,
But would they? Because it's like a double-edged sword. Without Wonderland, those businesses
wouldn't be there. And that's true. Like, Wonderland came first, and all those businesses came around Wonderland, particularly for that reason.
Yes, guys, I keep seeing the vaping comment over and over again. The vaping is my least of my concerns.
Yeah,
like
that's not an issue.
Like, I have no problem with people vaping, to be honest, because there's no secondhand vape. Like, you don't get. But I'm not going to get into that because I honestly, vaping doesn't bother me. But I understand why it would bother someone else. But with what's going on, vaping is, I don't care. There's so much other things going on. But yeah, do you have any other like? Did we see anything else today? I heard of an incident that I'm not going to say what happened, but I heard of an incident that happened at Behemoth yesterday as they were evacuating it, and like a really nice ride-op was called unfortunate names by a guest, and as she was just trying to help evac the train, just because she wasn't moving fast enough. Well, it takes time to evac a train.
People were commenting too, like just all these. It doesn't matter. That's actually something else I did want to say too. Guys, so obviously it's the start of the season for Wonderland, and you know, we joke all about it, like Behemoth, you know, Yukon, Leviathan, anything that goes down, Skyhawk. If the ride goes down, it's not like broken. It just means, you know, there's been a fault, or it's going to be very temporarily. It doesn't mean you have to start shouting and screaming, especially at ride ops. They have no control over anything like that. They're just as frustrated as you are. So taking it out on them for a reason like that is not cool.
I see a comment. I want to touch on it. It seems like Wonderland's getting too crowded. I will say that this isn't any more crowded than your typical. I mean, it's a busy start to the season, obviously, but it's not overcrowded in my opinion at all. I've seen busier. This is
a regular Saturday.
Yeah,
it's a regular summer Saturday. It's nothing.
It's not that. It's the behavior of people because of a mixture of things, like one being COVID, two just poor parenting, in my opinion, because parents can't hit their kids anymore. I mean, I had a really strict mom. I'm not saying hitting kids is appropriate, but I had a mom who would wash my mouth out with soap if I swore and all that.
I was slapped a few times, but you know what? We learned.
Yeah, like I grew up pretty well. I'm swearing now. Sorry, Mom, but yeah. I loved the way my mom raised me. My own money to buy my own things, everything. Like, responsibility, everything.
Like this kid here, he doesn't know what responsibility is. I bet you know what the funny thing is? I don't know, like 70% of the people in this video probably don't even have jobs or don't know what hard work is. They don't know what buying their own things are.
I got the broom, yeah. Anyone get the spatula?
the wooden stir stick, yeah.
I got the slap. Yeah, I got spanked.
There is no chaperone policy at Wonderland currently.
No, there's no, and I really don't think it's gonna. Like, I don't think it's gonna come because what was the majority of? Look here, guys. Look here. Look here. What are the majority of people walking around?
I still think.
You really think a struggling chain is about to cut off their most successful park?
If the city makes them.
Yes, there is that chance, but the city doesn't know. Like, they're gonna look at the age. Look at the photo. Let me show you. Did you not see the photo of the guy that attacked everyone across the plaza? It was an adult.
Oh, that's true.
It was an adult. Oh, so what happened across the street was there was a man, probably in his high 30s, low 40s, 30s, who attacked a bunch of people. He was high off his mind. It wasn't 14-year-olds that attacked people across the street, 15,
But that's
16.
outside the park.
Yes. And adults. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a topic we're going to have to keep visiting because...
I think it's going to be almost like a day-to-day thing based
Yeah.
off like how things escalate. Now, it is also the start of the season, so maybe everyone's just super excited. I don't know.
This is... Adam Hacker on Patreon brings up a really good point. The city won't touch their largest taxpayer.
The city will touch their largest taxpayer if there's problems across the street, if there's stabbing, shootings, and robbings.
I don't know.
My...
Ty's taxpayer and biggest job, like... Yeah.
My other concern is 10 p.m. closes, nighttime closes, because these things only escalate at night.
Yeah. Oh, well, complete show. Yeah, I do agree with you there. Yeah. Like, my mom never hit me really hard, by the way. But I got spanked. But I don't think parents should be hitting their kids. I just a nice spank here. But I got soaked for the most part.
I
Yummy.
just got slapped.
I love slapping you.
All the time. I like it now.
Did we even talk about our week?
No, we didn't.
How was your week?
Did anything special happen?
It's you. No.
No.
Are you gonna ask me if anything special happened?
Did anything special happen to you?
No, it's me.
Want to tell them the drone story? I was kind of, I don't know if you're still recovering from that.
So, my drone, she's going in for repairs. I crashed her. So my drone has a sport mode, a normal mode. She still works, by the way. The Snoopy's testing footage, it was filmed on my broken drone. She works. My stabilizer and the camera broke. So what had happened is my drone has a sport mode, a normal mode, and a cinematic mode. The sport mode is insane. It's like... So I'm landing my drone, and I'm landing next to my car, behind my car. My car's here, and the drone's coming in for a landing. And then it's hovering here, and I wanted her to just move a little closer to land, and I forgot she was in sport mode. And I pressed forward, and she's like... into the back of my car, and the propellers... It was like a scene out of a movie. We're digging into my paint. Because my drone isn't like...
Show them the blade.
This is one blade on my drone, and it's hard plastic.
It's like 10 inches.
Like, this is me, actually trying to... This is actually the broken... I replaced the thing already. But it hit a car, and this propeller sustained the most damage on the drone, and there's no damage to it. It's just ever so slightly bent. These things would cut through skin.
Yeah.
My drone's big. Like, it's like this big. It's not your, like, what most people use. I got, like, a high-end model. So she's cutting into my paint. Like, she's like... There's, like... And Surya's like,
I was
the
more
car!
concerned with the car.
The car! And I'm like, the drone!
I have fast car trauma, though, so...
And she doesn't stop. She's like, you know what?
F
you.
Bring it on!
She's like, this is what you get for crashing. She's just chopping away at my car. And then she's like, you know what? I've had enough. And she goes 90 degrees, camera first, and nose dives into the ground. And I'm like, I didn't want to look at I was so scared. And he's wiping my car, and I'm like, Becky! Becky, the drone! So then we set her up, and I took her off. She flew, and the camera worked.
Yep.
Didn't notice anything wrong with her, so I packed her away. I'm like, I survived this one. This is great. The next day, I went to go film a construction update at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm flying, and the camera's working, but out of nowhere, I move left or right, and the camera would shake when it's moving left or right as I'm filming. And I'm like, the stabilizer. Yeah. But yeah, so she's going into a DGI for repairs. It's probably going to cost me anywhere between $250 US to $500 US to fix the stabilizer. So... yeah, luckily I don't need her anytime soon. So she's flying. I filmed yesterday with her the Snoopy's testing footage. I think you can see a little change in the footage. It shakes a little bit. It's a little less thing, but they'll fix all that. Pow, right in the wallet. I know. But she's strong. You know, my car will sustain more damage than her. My, like, $30,000 car.
And you don't care about it. I was like, holy shit, the car!
It looks like a cat fought the car.
Yeah.
Like, but... So, Chat, what he is saying... Yes, sub to my Patreon. Start the drone fund. But yeah, I will always put the channel first, to be honest. This channel is so important to my mental health and my life now. This is the most important thing to me. So the drone before the car. Always. There's photos appearing. It's not time for that, guys, yet. Chill out. Chill out.
May,
No, I'm kidding.
you know what photo to send in when the time is right.
Okay, so let's get into our... Guys, we're going to talk about less deep things now. Let's get the vibes up, because Wonderland has got a really bright future. But you know what? I really don't like that you're happy.
About what?
Life. Right now, you're happy right now.
Today was a good day.
Yeah, you know what? F this.
I almost cried.
I'm going to play a clip for you guys. Enjoy.
I was just taking.
No, just pray for
looking at the
something.
trees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god!
What were you filming?
Nothing. I was looking at the landscaping. Don't show Brendan. Don't.
I know the mic's muted, guys. Can you hear the?
I'm more
can you hear the
intrigued by what you
sound?
were filming.
Let me take your tray out for you, sir.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The sound of the.
You missed a dish.
Isn't it nice how you can film some things from the inside the
It's
park?
beautiful. Yeah.
No, I was looking at the landscaping. Wonderland does such a good job with landscaping.
Yeah,
I
and you know
thought
what
I'd
they
make
don't
a
do any of
video
that is in the
about
parking
the landscaping.
They put all the things they don't like in the parking lot, right? So,
Well, you know, you can't
like the garbage cans.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh yeah.
Pavement.
Okay, let's not ride it for the rest of the day.
Right? But there's only 2 B&Ms in this park that are working.
Oh.
Always being in the table.
It's still yeah.
Yeah, it's empty there on the break room, isn't it? Very down.
First of all, I want to say the camera adds 30 pounds.
You know what also adds 30 pounds? Lazy Bear Lodge.
I wasn't filming Yukon, by the way. I was looking at, what did I say? Landscaping.
Oh.
Yeah, Wonderland does
yes.
a really good job on the landscaping.
Yeah, so was the grass moving when you
well,
were
no,
panning?
it's the trees were blowing in the wind. And it was
Oh.
hard. I have a Samsung, so I really need to get creative the way I film.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I have a Samsung.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 100%.
Comes in the terms
yes.
and conditions to film up here when I want to film down. Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing else in the area to film, really.
Oh, not at all.
No.
No.
Okay, Yukon's not bad. I mean, it's not Leviathan was hauling today. It's not, but Yukon was okay. It was moderately traveling at a moderate rate of speed that it normally doesn't travel at.
Surya, please explain yourself for spinning 68 times on Skyhawk. Adam, were you hanging out with us or something?
What happens is my brain is getting scrambled.
Nightmares feels different this year. Okay, I'll ride it tomorrow now, just because you said that. I was looking at you concerned the entire ride. Who's Adam?
I don't know.
Adam was with us?
Yukon was broken most of the day. Yeah, guys, Leviathan's a lot more reliable.
Please stop filming with your phone vertical. Wait, what was filmed vertical? Oh, he films vertical because he's a TikToker. I think he's talking about you were filming Yukon.
You can't do horizontal on TikTok because then it's like a little square like that and it looks stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so outside of the trigger, before we get into some fun stuff, you guys are talking about Behemoth a lot. I don't know what you're talking about. Behemoth was open all day today.
We actually did ride it once today. We did ride it once.
Okay, so Behemoth, yes, she's down. She was down a lot yesterday for the last part of the day.
Yeah.
She was down for 90% of today.
Those are good pictures of me.
Okay, so I want to say that the information I'm about to discuss could very well not be factual and is just me predicting and Surya predicting based off of things that we hear or guess and stuff like that. So please take everything we say with a grain of salt, as it is most likely not true, to be honest. You have to take everything you hear about Canada's Wonderland with a huge grain of salt when it doesn't come from the park. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I'm guessing that Behemoth is waiting for a sprocket for the lift hill. And that will probably take what? Sometimes Wonderland...
Well, if they actually do have to wait for a sprocket, I would say a week. That is if it's actually that bad. I have a feeling that... I think there might be something else, sprocket related, but I don't think it's a complete sprocket replacement. I think it might be like a bearing or something. Because if it was a complete sprocket that failed, like the chain would also essentially fail. Because you have to remember how much torque that has, right? Like it has, 5,000-6,000 foot-pounds of torque. Like that would shred a chain like a tin can.
Yeah. So that is my only guess about what could have gone wrong.
I think that's the most logical guess.
Yeah.
Again, machines break, right? Nothing is designed to last forever.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's like a car. Like, parts break in your car all the time or malfunction, and they go in for repairs, and you get a new one.
And, it is a high cycle ride. Like, that ride is always just, trains are always going. There's not much downtime.
Just because I see it asked in Patreon, Brendan, what do you think that Behemoth's next paint color is going to be? We're going to talk about all of that when it comes to Action Zone. There's a whole topic on Action Zone today, guys. Hello, Mr. Excellent. Welcome to Patreon. Thank you for the support. What should we talk about? Okay, let's talk about something a little boring. It's not boring. Snoopy's tested.
It did.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
For a kid's ride, it looks friggin' awesome.
It looks so good.
For a kid's ride, it looks really good.
It looks so good. Like, I love it. I'm in love with this thing now. It's silent. It's smooth. It's cute. It's me.
You're me.
Okay, no, but honestly, give your full depth about everything you saw today, because you saw it today.
I did see a test. Again, for what it's designed to do, I think it's probably one of the best in the world, which it is designed to be a kid's ride. Like, this does look on the more extreme ride to be labeled as a junior coaster, as a kid's coaster. This looks like an intermediate family coaster. Has a good layout. I'm sure the pacing is good, has good elements, like good curvature, stuff like that. Like, kids are absolutely going to blow their minds are going to be blown. But outside of that, I again, it's a great kids ride, and that's what it's supposed to be. But, comparing it to, I thought this looked better than Thunder Run. And again, I only seen it test once, and I have a feeling that wasn't at full speed. But from what I saw, I think Thunder Run looks a little bit more fun.
No, it wasn't full speed because they purposely valleyed it.
Yeah.
So we got to see them purposely valley the ride.
And I will say, again, it's a kid's ride, right? So it's so hard to compare. That's why I don't really want to do it. For what it is, it's a really good addition to Wonderland. No other park, not too many other parks have something like this in the kids' park. So I think that being said right there is an impressive, bragging right.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just fixed the footage. I realized it wasn't... it was, enlarged exponentially. But look at it. That's so awesome for Wonderland. This is so out of pocket for a park like Wonderland 2. And so let's talk about it. So in 2019, we got Yukon Striker. In 2020, we got COVID.
2021, we got 2020 attractions open.
Yeah, we got, what was it in 2021 again? It was Beagles Brigade
and Mountain Bay Cliffs.
And Mountain Bay Cliffs. And then in 2022, we got Why is it slipping my mind?
I don't think we got anything.
They cheaped out on us?
Well, no, there's still COVID recovery.
There was something.
Not a new ride.
Was there?
Lazy Bear.
Lazy Bear
Lazy
Lodge.
Bear didn't open until September.
And then in 2023, we're getting Tundra Twister and Snoopy's Racing Railway.
Yeah.
In 2024, you're probably going to see flat rides as usual, or nothing. It could be a big infrastructure year to prepare for 2025. And then in 2025, you're going to get like an epic roller coaster of some sorts. And then in 2026, you're probably going to see again.
There's probably going to be another big restaurant somewhere in there.
Yeah, and then in 2027 or 2028, you're going to see another large-scale roller coaster. So we're pretty confident that there's 2 big roller coasters coming in the next like 5-6 years. Like,
Definitely before 2030.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of stuff.
But we'll talk about that because I had a phone call with a really cool aeronautical engineer about everything that we saw going on in Kingswood, and he gave me some really good insight about what they were surveying for. So I got some pretty cool suggestions, I'll say, about what was going on yesterday. So I'm really excited to talk about that. But Snoopy's, in my opinion, I think is like gonna obviously be the best attraction in the kids area. I think it's Cedar Fair's best kids attraction.
Yeah.
To be super like just out there.
Definitely have Cedar Fair's best kids area.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
And what I like about Snoopy's is what a lot of people haven't noticed is the midway comes from the midway up and the queue line starts later on. So if you look at that midway, they're prepping for further expansion back there. I could actually see there being like more coming back there even in 2024. Like, I could see 2024 being, why did I think Ghoster Coaster was going backwards for a second?
That'd be cool. It does that sometimes.
But I like, honestly, like, this year is so underrated. I have not heard enthusiasts talking about the level of investments that we got this season. Like, everyone's kind of just, like, underrating Snoopy's, in my opinion, like, because it's a kids coaster. And yes, Wonderland did classify it as a kids coaster, even though it's clearly a family coaster. So that's obviously not helping. But when your park gets a epic flat ride like Tundra Twister and a family coaster in the same year, that's not heard of that often.
No, I'm definitely not. I think it's a great investment, and Tundra Twister too looks so good where it's at. Like when now that it's built, there's nothing else that could fit there. Like it's just that spot was built, like designed for Tundra Twister, which is really cool.
Jeff, evening guys. I commented on the survey earlier. Jeff, we read your comment as a group. I really appreciate your comment, as it helped a lot, and I really, thank you. So yeah, every time someone from the industry reaches out to me with information, I like take it and hold on to it because I'm learning about construction. I still mix up concrete and cement all the time. I still remember I used to call footings footer. Remember that? Yeah. So I really appreciate that. How are you gonna say it's Cedar Fair's best kids area and you haven't been to all the other Cedar Fair parks?
Actually, the only Cedar Fair parks I haven't been to is Knott's and CGA. So I can confidently say out of all the other major Cedar Fair parks, Wonderland's kids area is the best kids area.
Also, like, there's no competition anymore.
In fact, to this person, I have been to 49 different amusement parks, and out of all of them, Wonderland's kids area is the best kids area.
There's no competition. Like, this coaster is better than any kids area coaster in Cedar Fair's chain.
In most parks chains, actually.
Yeah. Like, I think Dollywood's the only park that comes close to having those really cool kids family coasters.
I'd say Dollywood and Sesame Place.
Oh, yeah, that one with the GCI or whatever?
Yeah, Rorosaurus.
But, yeah. No, and we have 2 kids areas slowly turning maybe into possibly 3 if they do move forward with Camp Snoopy. So, bam. But okay, that being said, do you have anything else to add about Snoopy's? It's really cute.
Yeah.
We're not going to fit on it.
No. Have a Timbit. Have a Timbit, Brendan.
Oh, are these the 0-calorie ones that you talked about?
According to Jen Craig.
I don't want to look like you, so I'm just going to turn that down. I'm the skinny one in this group.
Okay.
Okay. When are they going to take out the dinosaurs area? Oh, are you talking about the little entrance booth? We were wondering the same thing. Like, it's just sitting there still. It's so random that they didn't rip it up.
Although, you know, that part of the ride actually has nothing to do with where you walk or exit.
Yeah,
So they
I
might
know.
just keep it.
I know, but that's so random. Okay. Oh. No, you know what? I'm not going to talk about Action Zone yet. I'm going to make you guys wait to the end of the podcast. Tundra Twister. So she cycled today. No, I'm kidding. She didn't. So let's talk about it. I'll let you talk because I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking.
Well, you know, I think progress. There's definitely progress. It's maybe going a little slower than we would have liked to have seen, but it looks really good. They're really going over it with like a fine-tooth comb. I think they're doing all the little details. There is still a bit to do. Like, for instance, on the bottom of the platform, I don't know if they're just going to do like crushed stone or if they're going to do concrete under there, but that's just it. It's really a lot of the landscaping that's left, and that can be done within like 2 or 3 days. So I think, you know, I think there's a chance that Tundra could be opening, not soon, but in the next, okay, I'm going to say before May 2-4 weekend. Fingers crossed. It does look good though, and actually, when you're on Yukon, like when you're on the mid course going into the second dive, and you can still look up at a flat ride, because the mid course is like 90 feet up, right? And when you're still looking up at the flat ride, that's impressive.
Yeah. So there are dummies on the ride. There's like 3 of them or 4 of them. Gabriel, I have no idea. But I will say, footage doesn't do it justice. It is rustic rust that they painted onto that part. So it does look prettier in person, but it's still really random in my opinion. It's not just brown stains. There is detail to it up close. But yeah, it's a little, yeah. There's no op panel installed. The electrical seems to be installed in the back. I see the panels on the back wall. But there's no op panel. I gotta give my Amusement Insider spiel. So the information that I'm about to present has a chance of not being factual, and unless the park. I'm burping from my Red Bull. I needed the Red Bull. Every day this week, guys. I've been waking up at 5 a.m. to go like fly my drone in case something's testing. But essentially they're waiting on a part. Everything I say isn't factual. Wonderland, only if Wonderland makes a comment on it. I am just speculating on everything. But they're waiting on a part for the op panel to be installed. And I have heard rumblings that the op manual for the ride was made last night. So we are getting close. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm going to say when the water rides open is when...
Why are you saying that?
I heard something over at Clockworks.
No. Those Clockworks people.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I'm going to say when the water rides open is when they're aiming for Tundra Twister to be open now.
May 19th.
The manual was made last night. I'm sorry, what? Oh. No, not the manual the manufacturer makes. That's separate. That one's clearly made. I'm talking about the one Wonderland uses for training. Yeah. We'll be checking out Pipeline Media Day. I'm sending 2 people I know in Florida to Pipeline's Media Day to cover it for us. The op manual. Thank you, Gabriel. That's what I meant to say. Will the go-karts be running this year?
Oh, unfortunately.
Yes, they will. And they will
smell of
be
gas.
gassing you in the queue line. So, Tundra Twister, yeah.
It's going to be fun to ride.
Yeah? Oh.
That's a good photo.
Oh.
It's a really good photo.
Oh. Can you guys chat in the Patreon chat to get rid of that, please? Thank you. Oh. Who made that?
That's really cool.
Oh my god, Mr. Excellent. I should hire you. But yeah, they're moving slow, which means they're waiting on something because they're not rushing anything. Like today, they were literally just painting.
I took that.
They're just painting Where is his photos? There are ugly photos of him out there.
That's not so.
Oh.
Oh, it's doing it again.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, it doesn't like the ones of us eating.
Wonderland's hacking into our system. But no, I'm excited. This is gonna be great. But they're moving slower. I hate my Patreons. I'm kidding. Y'all are horrible people. No, I'm kidding. Do you have anything else to say about Tundra? I'm kind of bored of Tundra right now, just because nothing's happening. Like, how many times have I sat next to it waiting for something to happen now?
Well, we've gone off and okay, we leave Brendan there. We have a corner now, and we're like, okay, Brendan, you sit here. We park him there.
The day I got the footage of it testing, I froze for 3 hours outside and nearly got sick.
Yeah.
Every day for the past 4 days now, I've gotten up at like 4 in the morning to be at Wonderland for 5 in the morning to catch this thing running. Nothing. So what do? I drive there. I park at 5. I wait around. I wait for any birdies to, you know, just tell me anything. And then I hear, oh, it's not going to run today. So then I pop on over to Starbucks and I get my grilled cheese and I get my iced coffee and I sit and wait for Wonderland to open their parking lot at 8 in the morning. And then I drive into the parking lot and I wait for Surya to arrive around 9:30 a.m.
Because I slept in.
for the last 4 days. Well, the last 2 days of operations at Wonderland. The last 4 days, I would go there and then go to work. And that's what my mind is like right now. The inside of my mind is like that. This channel is exhausting me, but I wouldn't change it. I would not change waking up at 4 a.m. any day to try and catch this for you guys. I have to catch it operating for you guys. It's eating me alive.
It is,
it's stressing me out. I'm like, I need to show them it testing. Yeah, it is weird that they only painted some of Dragonfire, but it's Wonderland just trying to make the park more beautiful, and I'll eat that up any day. You know what's funny, Adam? I think in that photo, you're sitting next to people we know from the States. Can you post the whole photo again of you on Leviathan? They're sitting next to that mom and the son, yeah. Adam, post the whole photo, because I think you're sitting next to people we know from the States. Do you have anything else to say about Tundra?
No.
Okay. We can talk about the really boring subject. I don't know if they're going to like this one, though.
That's interesting.
You sure?
Yeah. Meh.
Do you want to skip it?
Well,
We can show them like a little bit, and then we'll talk about it for 10 seconds and move on.
well, I don't know. How much do you guys care about awesome roller coasters? Probably not that much.
No, I think they want like Zuma Flume and not...
Zumba Flume, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want another kids ride? What about more flat rides? Oh no, an expansion.
No, we don't care. Well, now you should!
You don't want to ride the tallest, fastest ever wing coaster?
Platinum Fastlane is $1,000.
$1,000.
When did that happen? I thought it was $800.
It was always $1,000 because Cedar Point's Fastlane is $950.
Oh, so for $50 more, you can
And
get it at
what
every
they-
park?
That's what they do.
We don't care. Keep going. Okay, so moving on, we'll go back to the chaperone policy.
Oh, those little...
Oh my goodness, I could talk about this all day.
I actually could. Look at that little kid. Look how he thinks he's so cool. I hope he got arrested. I hope he gets like $1,000 fine. Okay.
So
Brennan, what do all those little circles mean?
those circles?
Yeah, they look pretty important.
I don't know. The guy I talked to on the phone today said that they were nothing. And
Oh.
yeah. He said I should focus on...
I look really skinny there. Sorry. I look like I'm robbing the place.
The kids at Levi, I know. Okay, so in all seriousness, do you want me to quickly explain everything? So, if those of you who have seen my videos, there's an awesome team of people that build coaster creations for my channel and others, and they're doing wonders in the industry. They're actually starting to work with parks on potentially designing coaster animations when they announce coasters. And what's really cool is they have like a team of people who are really like imaginative and are really good at recreating designs signature to the manufacturer. So they built the mock double launch over in Whitewater Canyon for my.
May, can you please post that photo I sent you? May!
Stop it. We're talking about guys. No, not yet. Not yet. This is an important subject. Okay, I don't want to mess this up. Professional.
My Valraven looks really good.
And they designed the mock double launch. They're working on the Intamin multi-launch in that same area now for the channel. That should be coming out, not soon, but soon. And they're also working on it's so funny because this is the area they're building a wing coaster in Kingswood that goes over to Front Gate and then comes back in this area, in the Kingswood area. So it's really interesting because I called him up today. He's an aeronautical engineer, and he knows a lot. Surya is an engineer too, and Surya's helped with a lot of my things, especially with the distance markings and information on that. Especially when it came to, do you remember the sinking footer?
Yeah.
But so this guy, I literally was talking to him for like an hour on the phone today, and they're working on a wing coaster, and we were just talking about the location of the distance markings and then the little nails in the ground, and he was explaining the difference. And this is T, because this is going to help anyone kind of at their home parks. If there's anyone in here that has a home park and you see these markings, this is going to help you figure out some stuff. So essentially, there's 2 points in a surveying, right? There's the distance marker, which is essentially, it could mean 2 different things from what I understand. And again, I could be mixing things up, and correct me if I get anything wrong, but it's to track Tundra Twister, for example. Those distance markings on the building and the supports were to track
Like
the
a radius,
distance of the,
one
yes.
radius.
There's that, or it is the distance of a building or structure or anything. And then there's the point, and the point reference, the nails in the ground are really important. They essentially are they could be, again, 2 different things: a marking for a specific building, footing, or an electrical line or plumbing line that can't be relocated. It's a point of interest. And the point of interest is important because it means that something is going to be happening in that area. Mm-hmm. And it's a serious point of interest. So most of the times when you see them at theme parks, it means a footing. So a footing or a structure is going to go there. Mm-hmm. Or it's an electrical line that is important that cannot be messed with or moved, which again correlates back to the first one. So what's even more tea, I didn't get to put this in the video, is Wonderland is hiring a project engineer full-time. The posting went up just recently. A full-time salary project engineer. SeaWorld, when they built Iron Gwazi, hired a temporary contracted project engineer. So why could Wonderland, I'll let you answer this, be hiring a permanent salaried project engineer when they have someone of that experience, if not more, on as the head of construction and planning?
Well, the biggest thing that obviously comes to mind is the future of the park. Obviously, the park sees there's going to be so much growth within a large period of time too. Like when you post a job for this position that can't be filled by a contractor, that usually means it's going to be over like a 10-year period. Like you're not going to have a 10-year contract always at the park. It would be cheaper just to hire someone full time. So it's because the scope of work within a given amount of time is going to be so great. It's cheaper for Cedar Fair just to hire that position full time. Another really good thing about having, a PEng, a professional engineer around, is because as the park expands, there are so many current existing attractions that still need, they need their basic maintenance and stuff, right? And, maybe the higher ups, they have more important things to worry about, or they move on, they maybe, retire, stuff like that. So the engineer doesn't only help with future projects, they also oversee, what work is being done on Leviathan, what work is being done on Mindbuster, what's being done with that ride, what's going on with that ride. It's a really valuable position to have. And yeah, if the park knows that there's a lot of stuff coming in the future, it's cheaper in the long run to just hire full time than contract it out.
Yeah, and what the guy said was very similar to that. He said essentially that this probably isn't just a coaster, and with the coaster also coming in 2025, it's more valuable to Wonderland to hire someone full time because Wonderland's about to enter a serious, a huge expansion phase where they're going to need someone on call time. It's a full time position. This is someone at the park 5 days a week, which is like crazy because that's a super expensive contract, is it not?
Well, like a job or to have that as
A job,
contractor?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's like a 6-figure income.
Yeah, so it's like a big commitment for a park to have that. And we are already one of few parks in the Cedar Fair chain to have a head of construction and planning.
Yeah.
Only a few parks have it, obviously the big parks. So it's pretty confirmed. I've been talking about big expansion forever. I wasn't expecting Kingswood anytime. This is early, in my opinion. I knew Action Zone was coming soon. It's so funny because when Wonderland first opened, like when we started going 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I remember I said, I know what's happening to Action Zone. I know what's happening to Action Zone. And now I'm like, I didn't know this was happening to Action Zone. I didn't know this was happening to Action Zone. But I'll tell you what I had heard through the birdie mill. Or, is that a word? That's not a saying.
It is now.
It is now. Is that basically Cedar Fair is looking to retheme all of their action zones. So there was a rumor that started a year ago that the coaster restaurants were all going to get rethemed. And I think that there was a lot more oomph to that all the action zones at Cedar Fair parks are going to slowly get transformed. And it looks like Canada's Wonderlands is about to. And it's so funny because it's so obvious. Behemoth's paint job is being held off yet again. And it's, in my opinion, it's like with all these markings and all, it's so obvious. Like, why paint a coaster if you're going to have to retheme it? And we know, too, that Wonderland is moving away from the mythical creature realm that they had started under Dick Kinzel. So is there...
Oh, so you're saying a complete name change and everything?
I'm not sure about a name change, but I can see that sign coming down and them building an actual statue.
It would be nice to have a proper
I can see that. I think they can't really move away from the creature at this point because it's so good for branding, especially the one they had this season. But I could see them having a Leviathan Behemoth statue. Thank you, Mr. Excellent. Mr. Excellent, you are... I gotta get you on this mod team and stuff to help. This is you are perfect. Yes, Action Jacks. I can confirm that the tents are gonna most likely come down soon. I know. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. The 2 tents you saw come down were not a part of Kingswood removal. Talking to some higher ups at Wonderland, what had happened was there was snow piling up, and they wanted to take out the 2 biggest points where snow piled up on those tents, and that was they cut it. Yeah, they cut it up just so they used to have to send a guy up there to get the snow off every couple of weeks in winter. And they just wanted to eliminate that as a job, and they weren't going to use Kingswood ever again, so they decided to just cut her up. That's all. There was no plans when they cut that tent up for anything in that area, or the park said there were no plans. Obviously, the head of construction and planning had something planned. But what's insane is I don't think people are really grasping these yellow circles. Because what do you gather? I want to hear your thoughts because this is your thing.
I honestly, honest to God, and I don't think you're gonna like this. I see a very large wing coaster. In terms of a roller coaster, I see a complete, maybe even a dual zone retheme, right? They're gonna retheme that part of Action or revitalize it, and then they're gonna completely build World Expo or expand on an area or make a whole new area in there. I think we can expect a second front gate within the next 5 years. Obviously, I see a massive wing coaster going there. I don't know why, just even where the nails were and all the markings, it just looks like that to me. I think this is something that we need. And not only that, you look at what the other parks got, right? Carowinds got Aeronautica, Kings Island's getting what they're getting, Cedar Point got Grand Pavilion, King's Dominion got Jungle X. So like all these other parks have gotten newer like themed areas, like brand new areas. I think it's going to be our turn, and since we see the biggest attendance numbers, why not wait till the end to give us like the best, to give us the biggest, you know? Funnel those resources in, spend an extra year, 2 years planning it and developing it.
Yeah. Kingswood's time is over. Like it's done.
Oh yeah, they haven't used that in almost 4 years, 5 years.
It's literally a storage area, and it's holding the theming to our new haunted houses right now. So
It's dilapidated.
yeah, it's not salvageable, and it doesn't make sense for Wonderland to try and do concerts anymore. It's such a valuable plot of land. I can't sit here and begin to predict for you guys. I can't yet. I can't even hand you over a solid prediction of what is gonna be the theme. What the coaster's gonna be. I mean, he said wing coaster, and I'm gonna tell you the guy I spoke to on the phone today, the aeronautical engineer, very confidently said that the spacing of what he thinks is footings, the specific ones in Kingswood, he says it's a wing coaster too.
I'm gonna throw out 210 feet tall with a 205-foot drop.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty. You have one engineer saying he thinks it's going to be a wing, and I have an aeronautical engineer saying he thinks it's going to be a wing coaster too. The potential footings are spaced out a lot, which scream a B&M.
The other thing with a wing coaster too is because it has such a wide body diameter, that's basically all the clearance between the cars. You need a lot of open space. Like you can't really weave a wing coaster in and out of structures because those trains are about 22 feet wide, plus you need an extra 4 or 5 feet on each side for clearance. And what's in Kingswood right now? There is nothing out there. They have the parking lot, they can go out, they can go over. Like there's so much space for something massive. Wing coasters require huge turning radiuses, right? So you need those wide elements.
Yeah. Another thing about distance markers that I want to explain to you guys is because when I first saw the ones around Behemoth, we hadn't gone to Kingswood yet, and I posted my story, I'm ready to make my 2024 prediction, okay? I hadn't gone to Kingswood yet. I posted, I'm ready to make my 2024 prediction, and that was because I thought it was just going to be an area retheme because of the Action Zone rumor that I heard. And I was like, 2024 makes sense. Put in some new retro, new theming is easy for a park to do. Like, it's a lot easier than people think. Give Behemoth the paint job, because I had heard Behemoth was getting painted in 2024 by the same company that did Vortex. So I was like, okay, Behemoth's getting painted in 2024, and now we have survey markings popping up in Action Zone. So it's going to be a whole area retheme. Well, then we went to Kingswood, and we saw the markings extend all the way out to that second entrance. They're on that second entrance, the actual structure, that they don't use as a second entrance. So then I started saying, I deleted my post. If you saw, I took down the 2024 prediction. And then I started talking to the aeronautical engineer this morning, and he was like, no, Brennan, no, that makes no sense. He's like, markings usually appear about 2 to 3 years out. So Tundra Twisters appeared the year before. So I was like, well, Tundra Twisters appeared the year before, and we were able to predict it. And he said, yeah, that's a flat ride. That's a smaller scale project. But he's like, Brennan, when did your markings appear in Action Theater and Whitewater Canyon and all that? And I said, well, about 2 years ago, right? A year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And he's like, okay, so when's the coaster coming? And I said, well, we know for sure it's coming in 2025, based off of some information we have. And he's like, exactly. So he said, take that. You have those markings, and you haven't seen anything there. It's not like those plans have fallen through, Brendan. They're going to happen. Because I was getting really unconfident in myself. I was like, can we put the Intamin multi-launch that you're building over in Kingswood? I'm like, it's going to be in Kingswood now. Like, I'm sure it's going to be in Kingswood. And he's like, take a chill pill. He's like, calm down. You're stressing out. You're panicking. I'm like, well, I have to be right now. I have to be right. I'm like, I don't want to be wrong to my audience. Like, I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, I'm telling you right now that the markings in Kingswood are in Action Zone and Whitewater Canyon are for 2025 or 2024. Your markings in Kingswood, that fact that they're just doing it right now, it can't be for next year. Mm-hmm. He's like, they wouldn't have enough time to do any of it, and there's so many of them that it doesn't make sense unless it literally is just retheming. He's like, but the specific markings in Kingswood changes that, because he says they're reference points, and those reference points are the ones that have me convinced this is a large-scale project, like you're saying. And the project engineering post that they're just hiring for now wouldn't be ready for 2024. They'd be ready for 2025, 2026. It'd be too soon to throw them in and be like 2024. So he said, calm down. Your Intamin multi-launcher, your mock spinner is still going to be 2025, and it's going to most likely be in Frontier Canada. He's like, I'd be shocked if it's 2025 in Kingswood. He's like, I'm giving you my honest prediction. I think it's going to be a wing coaster, and it's going to be in Kingswood, the station, and it's going to head on out around Time Warp and Flight Deck. He doesn't think they're going to remove Flight Deck and Time Warp yet either. And it would head towards Front Gate, or it would head the other way. So he was a great person to talk to because I was panicking, guys. I was like, I'm wrong. I got the location wrong. I said it was Frontier Canada. But yeah. The 2025 coaster I don't think is going to be B&M now.
Not if this was a wing coaster, then definitely not.
Can you imagine if they built 5 B&Ms back to back to back?
We'd be tied for a park with the most B&Ms.
Oh.
I'd call it B&M land.
Yeah, so 2025 is still a thing, very much a thing, and those markings are spread out too.
Yeah.
So don't worry.
In a very linear pattern.
A very linear pattern. A straight line.
Send it!
So it's really exciting because what does this mean? 2025,
Yep.
we're getting a big coaster. 2023, we got a family coaster. And then 2027, based off of the time frame, potentially another world record breaking wing coaster. So, and there's up to 47 markings so far that we counted, and that was just they did that in one day. There could be more coming, and we can't see in Kingswood. That's why
there could be 200 in Kingswood.
There could be so many in Kingswood that we don't know about. We can't ever see them.
Like there's definitely some behind like Cyclone, like even Behemoth's maintenance shed. There's probably so many along that fence.
So, this is really exciting. Surya only cares to ride rides, but he was like,
I wanted to find more.
Yeah, he was so invested in this for the first time ever. Tundra, like when we go even like for the launch coaster, he doesn't show that much interest. Like when we go to Whitewater Canyon, he's just like, he just stands there like, so like Leviathan's over there operating right now. Like he tries to, like he doesn't, he'll sit there and he's just like, but you see it in his eyes. He's like looking over at Leviathan's lift hill. But this, he was like, oh my God, like talking.
It's the whole premise. Like guys, we whatever is coming here at Kingswood, we need, because I can almost guarantee a second entrance. If we got a second entrance, that's like on the top of personal things that I think Wonderland needs and I would like to see. I bet you there could be a new restaurant, maybe some new shops, and obviously another world record breaking coaster. And I know it's a wing coaster, but you know what? Let's just say it's over 200 feet. Let's say it's 205 or 210 feet tall with a 200-foot drop. It's still going to be a good ride.
So, Mr. Excellent, no, this would be a renovation of Action Zone. It's actually clear as day. So, if you watched my video today, guys, you'll know these yellow circles, where do they cover? All of Action Zone. Where do they stop?
Out just at the borders of Action Zone.
Literally at the borders of Action Zone. So that tells you that Action Zone is literally either about to be upgraded to some classier Action Zone, or it's going to be renovated into World Expo, or it's going to be renovated into a whole new theme.
Like it's encompassing everything south of that red line.
Yeah. But yeah. This is exciting. Like, and what's crazy for me is I'm already like, I wouldn't say stressed, but I'm already like overloaded with the amount of content I have to make and talk about. And now like 2025 hasn't even started construction and I have to watch 2 areas now. I literally have to watch Whitewater Canyon and now I have to watch Kingswood while trying to film Tundra Twisters testing. Like, and then the vlogs. I filmed 3 vlogs.
Don't finish them.
I filmed 3 vlogs and we don't finish them. And Surya, you're supposed to start vlogging on TikTok too.
I know. Sometimes I get nervous.
Don't. You just include the whole group and make a vlog.
I think at Cedar Point I'm gonna try like a TikTok vlog because there it's a little less intimidating because no one knows
who you are.
Yeah, so I can just walk around and kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah. And Nathan, I am suffering from success, to be honest. I'm suffering from having a full-time career with a salary and balancing a YouTube channel that's literally starting. YouTube, I'm in green arrows all over the place right now. It's like, green arrows, more people are viewing your video today, more people are viewing. Like, and I'm like, I haven't slept well in like 3 days now. Neither of you, though.
No, I haven't.
But yeah. That's all we've talked about Behemoth. Guys, is there anything else that's happened at Wonderland that maybe we missed covering today that we can talk about? And then we'll get into the typical hangout.
Was there so many fights at Wonderland today?
Surya was a celebrity yesterday. Surya was a celebrity today? It was celebrity. We're in the cereal.
Siri.
The bat opened today. That was exciting.
It did.
Yeah, the bat opened.
It's probably gonna be closed tomorrow.
The conference call. It was literally the most boring conference call yet. Oh God. That was a miserable man.
Post the photo, May.
But you get the VR drone control thing yet? I have it. I haven't made my promotional material, and I think they're getting really mad at me. I'm not very good at this. I'm not good at being a content creator. I'm not gonna get that check.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is that what you look like eating a muffin? I saw you guys today. So it was so cute.
Who said that? Oh, thank you.
Oh! The yelling was bad today. Why is everyone asking about Sledgehammer being removed? There's no indication that Sledgehammer is getting removed yet. Don't worry.
The amount of money they put into it, I don't think they're going to have to remove it. That's not a bad photo.
Yeah, that's me at a certain angle, so I look better.
Oh, you're doing the 5K run at Wonderland next Saturday.
Oh, yes. Have a look in Kingswood area. Look for any of those distance markers. Do you know what the distance markers look like? They're little, like, almost like laser tag shooting points, right?
Like a reflector, like reflective tape.
I am so glad you're okay, Tatiana.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you're at home. Safe.
Be careful taking fast passes from people. They're getting really strict.
And that is something you can be kicked out of the park for.
Are you guys coming tomorrow? We will be there every day because look at us.
Well, so yeah.
We don't have...
Beautiful.
Yeah. We don't have lives. Could Wonderland tell you to stop leaking stuff? Honestly, it does feel like it's getting pretty close to that. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And yes, yes. I'm treading water right now.
Surya goes back to work at Marineland soon. I do. I'm very unfortunate. I might, ask if I can extend my downtime.
You died.
Oh my God, that is a terrible photo of me.
Questions. Do you think after the expansion, where do you think Wonderland will rank in the Cedar Fair Park coaster lineup?
In my opinion?
Yeah.
It depends what we get. I think Kings Island is still going to be ahead of us. For coasters, I think Cedar Point's actually going to have the best roller coaster lineup when they get Dragster up and running. We'll probably be ahead of Carowinds. Depends what they'll definitely be ahead of King's Dominion. I think we'll be on par with Kings Island. I think Kings Island may be a little bit above us because they have the good wooden coasters.
Do you think Canada's Wonderland's going for the most coasters at a theme park? I don't think they'll be able to achieve that because of Magic Mountain, but I think Wonderland's going for the most attractions at a theme park. There's no indications that any rides are getting removed now. Every ride I thought was on the chopping block has received some sort of investment. I've already answered the VR drone thing. Calm down, calm down. I answered it. I have it right here. It's right here. Canada's Wonderland is making a scavenger hunt. I can tell you they do not like me finding these distance markings.
Nope.
I found we found the launch coaster ones, and I made the video on it, and they were all removed the next day.
Yeah.
Like, removed.
From all the structures.
So I can tell you they do not want 2025 leaked. I think 2025 is very important to them. If it's what we think it's going to be, that's going to be their baby.
Yeah.
So for them to rip them down the very next day after the video...
They're like, holy shit!
And it did feel like there was some animosity after that.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like there was a little, like, we shouldn't have filmed that. Yeah, a complete show, you're right. We are a top-tier park for flat rides, like...
For flat rides?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shut up. That's an important part of the park for some people. There are flat ride enthusiasts. Not everything has to be Fury 325.
You can only go upside down so many different times on a flat ride. Shockwave party cycle.
I think Carowinds is 2024.
Yeah, there are like markings and stuff by Whitewater Canyon.
It wouldn't,
or they're whatever they're.
They can't afford 3 big parks getting a big coaster in 1 year. It's going to be 2 parks getting a big coaster and 1 small park getting a medium coaster.
Carowinds has gotten enough good stuff.
Flat ride enthusiasts. There are people that are flat ride enthusiasts. There's people that are fairground enthusiasts, guys. Y'all are boys. Y'all are boys. You and
Arrow enthusiasts.
You and Coaster Cat are like the mean girl.
Coaster Cat, let's go to Cedar Point.
Can I ask a question? It's a different topic. Sure. Can I?
I do think I can see Carowinds getting a giant dive coaster.
What? No water park enthusiast? Zachary, don't out yourself here.
Can we please post the photo of Brendan?
Why do you look? That's you staring at my food. That's you staring at my food and being like, are you going to finish that?
What does GM mean?
General manager.
Oh.
I don't know what he means in that sense.
No, the one I sent May.
Ew,
I don't know if I sent it.
Behemoth, I don't know if it'll get a new color. I can see them painting a new color, though, if they do retheme. People want wait time update times of Lazy Bear Lodge.
That's a good... I should, yeah.
When I go to Cedar Point, should I get Fastlane? You have good advice for Fastlane, and I think I agree with
okay, it depends when you go to Cedar Point. If you go during the week in, like, May, then no. However... You're going to Cedar Point, especially in the summer. If you're only going to go there once, I would say splurge on Fastlane. Make the best out of it. If you're going for multiple days, pick the day you're there the longest to get your Fastlane. It's working!
Wonderland. What happened to all the TVs? I'm assuming you mean the wait time TVs.
Or the TVs in, like, Leviathan's line, because the only one is the one... Don't give anyone your Fastlane wristband if you have all-season Fastlane. It's not worth you getting caught and your privileges getting revoked.
The Dorney Park dive coaster looks pretty cool.
It looks like it suits the park really well, actually.
It's going to have a lot of theming, too, by the looks of it.
And it's interesting because it's the first, like, lower-tier park to get something brand new in a while. Well, I guess Worlds of Fun just got...
The wait time TVs. Okay. All of the information I discuss is just my opinions, and until Wonderland makes an announcement on it, it's not true.
You don't need those.
From what I understand, they're being themed. That's information that I was told, that they were all removed to have ride-specific theming attached to them. Maybe that's why Cyclones came back with no theming, because they can't install the theme if there's going to be a new theme. That's going to be cool if they make new names for all the rides.
That would be.
Yeah, so from what I understand, the TVs are being removed and they're having like themed shells put around them to be reinstalled. So next year, maybe you'll see them.
Oh, are you saying you can either go with a friend or go by yourself and get fast lane? I would say hang out with a friend.
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
And if you're going towards the end of August, you won't need fast lane.
Anything you can say about the boarding pass? The mic's all yours.
I am very much okay. I'm for a boarding pass. The whole premise of a boarding pass is a fantastic idea, and it's so nice to have those kind of accommodations, right? Anyone with a disability, invisible or otherwise, who has a legitimate disability has full rights and entitlements to use that boarding pass. It is a great system. The problem is when people find out that how easy it is to obtain and they think it's like a fast lane. It is not a fast lane. And these people who make up, quote unquote disabilities, they abuse it. And then you start getting, 30, 35-minute waits at the exit for rides like Leviathan just to use the boarding pass when they don't necessarily need it. 1, that slows down everything. 2, that is not right because you are abusing a system designed to help people. And 3, now those people who actually need it have to wait longer. So they're defeating the purpose of that system. So I think it's disgusting.
Sorry, you finished earlier than I thought.
I think it's disgusting. I think people who do it are absolute low-life scum. I'm just going to say it. They're abusing something that is designed to help other people. It's pretty much the same thing as parking in a handicap spot if you don't need it. It's not right.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid, and they think they are so cool by doing it, but really they're just making fools of themselves.
I hate, honestly, and
Entitlement.
Honestly, Wonderland can't get mad at me for saying this, but Wonderland, you need to do better. You need to do better in screening these people who are using it. It's all Vaughn teenagers now using it too. Mm-hmm. And it'll be like a group of 8 people, with one pass. Yeah. And they're allowed to skip the line. It makes no sense.
I don't think virtual queues would work at Wonderland.
Yeah.
There's no midway space.
Yeah, it's true. The queue lines are way
Imagine all of Leviathan's queue outside, waiting around Leviathan. Holy crap, it'd be like a concert. No, bad idea. Keep them in there.
When are the 2024 editions getting released? They'll be announced mid-August, usually.
Like August 16th or after, because they announce anything big on Roller Coaster Day.
It's usually when season passes go on sale.
Yeah.
I'll probably know what they are, hopefully sometime in July, unless we start seeing really specific markings. Mm-hmm. I need Whitewater Canyon to open. That'll tell me everything, because I do suspect that we're going to see a flat ride in the Whitewater Canyon Action Theater area. I think Action Theater has a huge potential to be our 2024 edition. But there's also a chance Wonderland could be using both sides for haunt mazes now, especially with the loss of Kingswood.
That would kind of be cool.
So I have to see. There's a lot. There's also rumors that started last year. Remember, we heard the rumor of the corn maze being removed. Hello, that was a huge green flag for something coming in that area. So yeah. I agree. 2024 has a huge potential to be nothing too. But the only reason I say it won't be nothing is I think a large part of the reason that we see Snoopy's Racing Railway with Tundra Twister is COVID delayed a lot of attractions. And for those of you that watched the interview with Peter and Grace in front of Tundra Twister, I think it was with CP24, it was with another news channel, they dropped a little bit of information, and it was like COVID had slowed down Wonderland's expansion almost. Mm-hmm. And they can't afford to be any further behind, essentially. So it makes sense that, Tundra Twister was supposed to be during COVID, or Snoopy's was supposed to be, and instead of building these things slower, they were kind of like, okay, just throw Tundra Twister in with Snoopy's Racing Railway, and then 2024 is going to be the same thing. We'll probably see a restaurant with a flat ride, and maybe we would have seen those separated, or a water park with a flat ride. You're going to see things expedited a little to catch up, essentially, especially with the success that they're having.
100%.
It was City News. Okay, thank you. So there is no law that prevents RMC from doing work in Canada. That was a misunderstood law. So there is a law that essentially forces a Canadian company to hire Canadian employees for work. There's two ways you can go about that for RMC to work in Canada. So the best way to describe it is, I'm just closing my eyes to think in depth. RMC could essentially hire Canadian contractors to build the ride, and they can supervise. RMC can supervise the build. Or Wonderland can file essentially like a petition, and a lot of businesses do this, by the way. Google does it a lot, for an allowance to allow RMC to come build their own ride, because no one in Canada can do that work. That no one is as skilled as RMC in building their own attractions. And I can see that being actually a lot easier because
it is specialized work.
Yeah, it's specialized work. So I can tell you right now, I actually don't think Wonderland has any trouble, because who did we see supervising the build of Tundra Twister today? Who was on site today?
Mondial.
Mondial and an engineering firm from Norway. So I remember I was shocked. I was like, wait, why did they hire an engineering firm from Norway? But it makes sense. They probably work with Mondial. So it's a lot easier than people think. So there is no law that I think prevents RMC from working in Canada. And if there is, there's so many easy routes they can go about it. Any other questions? Wow, that was a huge rant. I'm like out of breath. Wahali is viewed as members only now? You two must have done that on their own.
Okay, I had nothing to do with that photo. I didn't even know what that was. Those are gross, by the way.
I don't recommend that
terrible.
snack platter. Yeah. Well, Ryan Roller Coaster built that. It was his first coaster he built too in No Limits, which is insane. That engineering firm could very well have been a third party. No, not to approve the ride. A ride has to be approved by TSA.
Like to run?
To run, yeah.
Okay.
I assume.
I thought they meant like supervise.
Yeah. Thank you to Image Ingredients, Mr. Sandwich. He literally... We were getting off Yukon, and I think Mr. Sandwich was the one that spotted it. Someone was like, Brendan, the head of construction and planning is walking with people. And they had logos on their shirt, and I was like, oh my god, if that's a ride manufacturer, we need to get that. We need to see which one. Because I thought they were heading over to Kingswood, but they were coming from Tundra Twister. So Mr. Sandwich booked it, and kind of like... Yeah, so we got the engineering firms, and Mr. Sandwich figured out that they're from Norway.
I'm excited to check out Grand Pavilion, actually. The building looks really nice. The food looks a little questionable.
I will say, the reason we're not eating at Lazy Bear is we're kind of sick of it.
They took the best thing off the menu. The portions are small, and I think... I mean, everything's fine.
Yeah, we're Lazy Bear Lodge has taken a little dip in quality.
It's going down like the second Camelback of Leviathan.
But yeah, sounds like someone's shoveling snow outside.
Is that it?
Oh yeah. Don't scare me, Andrew. I will block you. The brisket is smaller. The brisket is a super small portion today. I don't know if it was just the girl or it was 2 slices of brisket. I legit heard a shovel noise too. It was just his foot.
It's true. He's very talented.
I'll pay for the medical. Thank you. I accept gift cards to Starbucks or subscribe to my Patreon.
Wait, what's the medical for?
The heart attack I suffered from him telling me Tundra Twister was testing. You know how fast I'd end this podcast, guys?
That's true. Oh, bam! We gotta go!
Did I tell them the story about how I was in Leviathan's queue in the very back?
And he hippopotamused his way out of there?
I got a message from, someone at Wonderland, and they were like, just so you know, Tundra Twister's about to test. And I was like,
slow-mo.
excuse me. And we're at the very back.
There's still cracks in the foundation to this day.
And then we're like booking it over to a thing, you know. Then I started live streaming for you guys, and you know, Tundra Twister was just like do 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 do.
The park was very busy today.
Yeah.
Unless it's a friend, I'm not getting in between a fight between strangers.
We've learned a lot. It's just better not to get involved. Wonderland has security.
And you know what? This is another thing, too. If someone line jumps you, it's better not to confront them directly. Don't cause a confrontation and just go to an attendant and explain your problem to them.
That was my philosophy from the beginning, remember?
It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth because, you know, if they're line jumping, they're not gonna see that they're in the wrong, and you don't want to escalate it. It's not worth getting punched over because two people jumped you.
Yeah.
Line.
I did post the Snoopy's Racing Relay.
I could see Mindbuster getting Gravity Group or GC Gravity Group. I could see Gravity Group coming in and really fixing it up.
Not Jake snapping me while I'm also on the podcast. I was really close to being sick, remember? After filming for 3 hours in the cold rain.
Yeah.
We were in Lazy Bear, and I could like hardly contain.
Still
My
shiver.
back was hurting, everything from shivering. But I would do it again!
Yes, you would.
I'm ready to do it again. Surrey gets scared. I can see it in his face. I'll hear like Tundra Twister's gonna test, and I think
Holy shit!
I'll run over to thing, and I just plant myself there, and Surya's like, that's an old photo. How did you?
Brendan, you okay
How did you
there?
get that photo? That's my personal Snapchat photo. Oh, I think it's on my Twitter. I know, that's the one lucky thing with me. I age well. Google Images? The fuck? Oh, okay, yeah, Twitter, okay. I think I posted that to Grace at one point, I think. Yo, check Instagram, I sent a great pic. Okay. You know, it's got me going over to Instagram and... You started an OnlyFans?
I did.
Oh, I mean, it's just Sarah eating an ice cream cone.
Oh my god, that was in 2014 at Banshee. That's when Kings Island did Dollar Day ice cream. You know how much ice cream I ate that day?
You're skinny.
I used to be skinny.
Brennan on the myth.
Holy shit. Pink.
$499. I think that's the tour we saw those two influencers on.
I would like to do that tour, but not the ride stuff, just the construction stuff. Or not the construction stuff, like the behind the scenes tour stuff. That would be cool.
Mr. Sandwich posted a text line, I think, somewhere. I don't see it here in front of my stream deck, but I think he posted it. So if you guys save that, it's like a security hotline.
I don't know how to advertise that, though, because Wonderland doesn't.
Any other questions, guys? You know, sorry, we have Wonderland again tomorrow. We're sunburnt.
The next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
How do I show this?
Where are we going in 3 weeks?
King's Island. Oh,
I was going to the food court.
the food court?
I was making a joke.
Oh.
Did you tell anyone?
About
or
what?
Is that a secret?
About what?
Kings Island.
Oh, no, we're going to King's Island.
Yay!
We're going to go live on Surya's TikTok, too. That's why we want to end it a little earlier than we normally do. because every time we end it lately at like 12, and then by the time he drives home, it's like 1, and then we have to wake up for Wonderland tomorrow.
And then I have to poop.
I agree, Brayden. On the Wonderland app, they should have a section where you can anonymously report incidents. I agree. That's a great idea. No Cedar Point. Oh! I mean, yeah, there is something we should talk about Cedar Point. The new footing. Anyone want a fast lane? $5.
Christ!
The new footing. You saw it.
Yeah.
It's fucking big.
Then it's a completely different area than Dragster's original layout, which is very exciting.
Jake, you are not going to bed. Brennan, can you confirm this is you?
They made you look skinny in that photo.
I don't know. Sometimes I mix up Surya and me.
No, I'm a elephant.
You have to look at the fupa.
The one with the bigger fupa is clearly
him!
it's him.
It's him.
I just have the back fat.
Are y'all dating or something? Ew. Who do you think I am? D?
I need to leave!
She doesn't watch these. I'm sending you to bed. No! So funny, Jake will be like, unbuckle your seatbelts. And I'm like, no.
Stapled me.
He did staple me.
Yeah, he says, oh my god, you got stapled a lot today.
And you know what you're talking about? Brendan is skinny like a flamingo.
The little legs can't hold him.
Can we make the hippo an emote so that we can refer to Brendan as it specifically? I don't know how to make an emote. I need someone on my team to do that. Yeah, Jake is literally... We're changing his name to Jake the Stapler. That's just him.
He works at Staples.
Just admit it. Y'all dating. Well, you can tell that to the person I was with yesterday. That's shocking news to me. And can you please privately check your Discord messages with me after the podcast? It's about Wonderland and it's fine for Suri to see too, just not anyone else. Wait, are you who I think you are? This is who I think it is. Oh, you haven't messaged me yet. Or at least it doesn't show up. I look like 12.
Brent, why are your eyes so wide? Did you just fart?
No, that was my...
Holy shit.
You know when you can hear the liquid go from your... Yeah.
Damn.
My stomach. My stomach just gargled liquid. Bro looks like a Von Teen. I do not look like a Von Teen. I look cute as... They
haven't announced that. I don't believe that.
This is Mr. Excellent, though. Carrying weapons of any kind and any prohibited items can reserve the right. As part of our commitment, we are implementing a chaperone policy beginning Saturday, May 16th, 2023. The chaperone must be... Oh, okay. Guess ages 15 or younger per day.
It's not on the website.
Mr. Excellent, where did you find that?
And Wonderland would announce that. They would put that on social media right
Yeah,
away,
they
like all
would.
other Cedar Fair
Unless
parks.
that's on the website and all that, it's probably edited. Especially the Canada's Wonderland Code of Conduct. That font looks questionable. It's not on the Code of Conduct site. Thanks, Zach. It's fake news.
Yeah, it's not on the website. That would be plastered everywhere.
Yeah, here's the actual one. No nudity. No nudity. You know, sometimes I look at this code of conduct and I go,
90% of the people who go to the park need to be kicked out.
I'm like, we all do a little bit of this. Like unsolicited photographing or video recording that disrupts the guest experience or interferes with park operations.
That's recording on rides.
Yeah. Offensive language or gestures when we grab each other's tits. All right. Laugh at me every day at the parks, right? Right? Jasmine, I have to respond to you after this. I've been so busy with testing. There's no information about Media Day yet, but you're all registered for 247 for Pipeline. I have to get you in contact with the other person. So I have 2 spots. I filled one guy and you. So I have to get you guys to meet because I would assume you have to enter at the same time. But yeah, I'm super excited for you to check out Pipeline. It's going to be so fun. And you get a POV, a reverse POV on the ride too, Jasmine. So that'll be really cool. The only thing I have to say about SeaWorld's Media Day is, so I registered, and then, you know, like when you register at Wonderland, it sends you like all the information.
Yeah.
I didn't get any information for SeaWorld. It's like, I don't even know, like Wonderland's like, okay, arrive here at this time. And then it starts, at SeaWorld's is like,
Well, still a little bit out.
your time is 2:47 p.m. No where to meet. No,
That's
like
such
where
a
to enter.
specific time too.
Yeah.
Andrew, I've been on that ride at Sobble Beach. Sobble Beach used to have an amusement park.
Oh, Mr. Excellent, you're good. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you see something online, I would do the same thing. I would take a screenshot, post it in our Instagram group chat, and I'd be like, oh my god. Someone cuts the line. What do you think would have done around a nice fun time? Did they have to pay for the plane ticket? No, so these people I sent, they live in Florida. Oh, and Jasmine, you don't need a ticket to SeaWorld. That was your question you asked, if I remember. You don't need a ticket. I'm assuming you get in for free. Although now, without the information, I don't know if that's to be true. But most parks, media is like
free.
Yeah. So maybe I'll respond to the email and get an answer since it's coming up. But yeah. Any other questions before we wrap this up so we can go live on Sirius? We don't know any details yet about the wing coaster, guys. It's not even like deemed a wing coaster. See you tomorrow.
Every day, Jake.
Jake, are you working the whole day? Or are you going to hang out? We go live on Surya's TikTok page. Surya K325?
Yeah. Is Behemoth going to be open on Wednesday? Hard to say.
Yes, Escape Designs does it. And wait till you guys see the new technology. They haven't made any videos with the new technology, but the Intamin coaster they're building for Wonderland for my channel is using the new technology. So you guys will be able to, one, go in there with VR or go in there and actually walk around yourselves in the area and ride it.
That's so cool.
Like on your phone, on your computer, like you'll be able to go into the area and do it. It's going to be, the coaster he's creating for me is going to be the second one they do this for. There's one client they have that they're doing for too. And this coaster, like the front gate video, like they cost a pretty penny now because they're really good and it's a team of people. Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Oh, okay. Are you probably hanging out with other friends? Surya's party moves are fire.
Thank you.
I don't know what they do at La Ronde. La Ronde isn't my home park, so I don't know that stuff.
It's Six Flags, so they probably give you a reward.
Why is he red? Surya TikTok. Oh, look, Mr. Excellent made you one. Oh, featuring wait time, update times. Oh, and then Braden. Thanks, guys. 4.8 million likes.
That was wait time, update times.
Dude, you're like on your way to 50,000 followers already. Do you know how successful that is?
Don't think about that. That's scary.
Funny cringy video. Oh, you spelled cringy wrong. Educational stuff. I thought that said 1 subscriber for a second, and I wanted to cry.
Those are good, Mr. Excellent.
This is my one.
No, I know
Oh,
that, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
how he puts them, like, and like especially with your Patreon, the tier thing. You should post that.
Yeah.
Oh, go down, go down.
I didn't-
I saw something.
I didn't-
Oh yeah, you should post that.
I hate my Patreons. What nasty people you are. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Oh, May's got your back. Thanks, May.
May, you got home okay, right?
4.8 million likes. Does that mean you're likable?
Something.
If you've gone to Wonderland with him, there's... It's like being in bed with someone. All you hear is, Surya! Surya!
Cereal.
The caption needs breaking news at Tundra. Oh!
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little questionable. Oh, key switches. Yes, you were by Skyhawk, right?
Yeah. He's always so shy. I always have to say hi to Key Switches for him to engage in our group, and then he'll like, I'm not making fun of you, Key Switches, because I totally understand, but it's so funny. He'll like hover near, and I'm like, that's Key Switches. Key Switches, like, we know you so well, like, you can come hang out with us. And then like he'll like talk for a bit, and then he gets like a little thing, and he'll like wander away, and I'm like, I've noticed a couple of people were like, oh, we already know you, come hang out with our group.
Yeah.
But then I guess like there's so many of us now.
It's
Intimidating.
It's actually cool meeting like some of these people in real life.
Where is Cinnamon?
Cinnamon is still walking home from Carowinds. We left her there.
More bad interactions? You're not a bad interactions. You come off as rude. No, we've known you for... You guys are high... Not my pay.
Is that body mass index?
not Cinnamon south of the border without a passport.
Yeah, she hitched a ride to Carowinds and we left her there.
Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go, guys. Let's end this so we can go live on Surya. So all 135 of you, we better see you on Surya's. You better go live.
I will go live.
The fact there's 135 at this boring part, we almost hit 200 for the first time ever.
We like what, not 195?
I'm scared. You know how
196?
whenever we end this, it tells me how many people are still watching. So right now 135 people are watching, but then there's people who aren't watching live.
We knew quite a few people too who said they were just getting home like from
Yeah.
the park and stuff.
So it's so crazy when we see how many people are currently watching. I'm like,
I can tell. I like obviously the podcast in the winter was amazing too, but now that Wonderland's open, like there's going to be a lot to talk. Look, we've been talking for an hour and 53 minutes now. 20 minutes was the hangout stream, but
yeah,
there's just so much to go over.
But yeah, thank you for the support, guys. Because honestly, this podcast, like, people are like
complimenting.
Yeah, like
it's awesome.
Even people who work at the park are like, yeah, you know your shit, or the podcast is like good. So.
We're gonna ignore that photo.
All right.
Oh, one other thing. I guess we should clarify that 9:30 seems to be the new time.
Yes. So right now it's gonna be 9:30 p.m. It seems to be doing wonders.
Yeah.
Y'all seem to like the 9:30 p.m. start time. If Wonderland, when they start going to 10 p.m., if we notice anything, we might push it to 10 p.m. But it'll be no later than a 10 p.m. start time.
Mm-hmm.
So, those are cute. Not the photo of you.
But Brendan's not a guest on that. He's half of it.
I'm a guest still. It's your platform. All right. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen, and Nike tech wearing people.
Thank you for keeping Nike in business.
Yeah. We'll see you at Surya's Live.
The parts are gonna come back. Don't worry.
Are we out of parts?
We're getting close. I still have one piece of Mindbuster track that I always forget.
Oh, okay.
Because it's rusty.
Broccoli heads. All right. Bye, guys. See you
Bye,
at Surya's.
guys.